Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to day 6. Yes, we made it to day 6. I'm really glad you found this video today. May God continue to bless you, continue to bless us as we ask God to do something special in our lives over this next 22 days. We are reading from Trusting in God's Plan and Waiting. It's a story about Joseph, and I'm getting so much out of it. I'm getting so much out of being consistent and talking to you all about it as well. Not only that, but if you want to, you can hit the link in the description, join the Bible app, and join the Bible plan with me and some other like-minded people as we continue to divulge and give insight on just what we're actually reading and our thoughts behind it. And you can get into our exclusive group chat that is only offered on the app. So make sure you guys hit that link. And if you're new here to the channel, welcome. We have 2 channels where you can see content just like this. It is Mastering a Man, which is an overall hub of information centered around faith, fashion, fitness, and finance. And we have Mastering the Faith, where you can find just information on faith and mindset as we continue to grow and become our best version of ourselves and who God has destined us to be. But without further ado, let's get into it because you guys know it's day 6. You guys know the run by now. If you don't, like I said, go back and check out the other days and get caught up and you'll see exactly what we're doing here. So today's devotion, let's get straight into it. God's Plan and Waiting, day 6, in the jailhouse now. It says, here's the part of the story where you're probably thinking it can't get any worse for Joseph. But oh, it did. Our God was trying to do the right thing and not sin against God, but look where it got him, in the jailhouse. Interesting that verse 20 says, Joseph's master took him and put him in prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined. Potiphar personally took Joseph to jail. I wonder what the chariot ride was like. Potiphar was stuck between a rock and a hard place, forced to do something since his wife was accusing Joseph of a terrible crime. However, Potiphar had years of experience seeing Joseph's true character, his devotion to his God, and built a friendship and trust with this man. Could it be Potiphar was assessing the situation, but at the same time recalling the faith and righteous behavior Joseph had displayed over the years? Nevertheless, at the end of the chariot ride, Joseph will end up in a prison cell, confined, stuck, not where you want to be, and scared for your life. Do you relate? Think back to the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic when the entire world went into lockdown mode. You couldn't go where you wanted, see your family or friends, or do what you wanted to do. It was scary and seemed hopeless. That's just the tiniest glimpse into how Joseph must have felt his first few days and weeks in jail. However, Joseph wasn't alone in prison. The Lord was with him. He showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. I'm not sure what Joseph did while in confinement that impressed the warden, but he did something. Could he have been praising God during that time? Maybe praying? Maybe he went above and beyond the prisoner task that he was given. Whatever the case, he was noticed and later put in charge of all those held in the prison. Yet again, Joseph has taken the lemons and made lemonade due to the Lord's favor. And yet again, he has someone to take notice of him and give him an opportunity to take care of things and people. Because the Lord was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did. Friend, the Lord is with you right now in your time of waiting. He knows the discouragement you face and the sleepless nights, the anxiety, and the fear of the future. But when you seek him first in all you do, even in your wait, he will bring you success. Your wait right now has a purpose. You just may not know what at this moment. But I assure you he knows. Please don't waste his time waiting. Dig deep in his word. Declare his promises over yourself and invite him into every single part of your day. He can bring success even in the prison of waiting. And today's questions are, how do you handle being confined during the coronavirus pandemic? Does waiting feel like a prison for you? And do you feel like the Lord is with you right now? Okay, so I'm glad they brought up the pandemic because to me that was a pivotal point in my life personally where I made a lot of changes and I had the opportunity to make those changes. So it says, how did you handle being confined during a pandemic? Well, for me, I took the opportunity and I really just evaluated the areas of my life that I wasn't really happy with, right? I had a chance to kind of sit down. I don't know about everybody else, but I was able to work from home remotely. I went into work some days, but for the most part, I was working from home. Just kind of adjusting. I was still able to have a job, so I was blessed in that sense, and I was able to, pick up this camera. At the time, Ahmaud Arbery had been killed, and to me, that was something that I really resonated with. And I wanted to make sure that I picked up a camera and was able to document the changes in my life and the story in my own way versus people finding out about it on the news, or something tragic happened and not being able to find out about it at all. So this was my outlet. This was my way of dealing with the situations of the pandemic, you know, social riots, and the social climate at the time was just really bad. So for me, it was just an opportunity for me to just, like I said, evaluate, see areas of my life that I wasn't really happy with, and ask God to come into my life and really make those changes. And I'm starting to really see that some of those changes that I prayed for then are starting to come into fruition now. It's a beautiful thing when that journey has starts to show fruit. And that was what, 4 years ago. So that shows you about some of the journeys in the wait, and how it's not just your end goal. Does waiting feel like a prison for you? I would say yes, because a lot of times we get impatient. We don't know. It's like prison when you don't know when you're getting out, right? So it's like, yeah, you're here, you're kind of going through the same things every day. You're staying, I want to say consistent, because you're doing the same things every day, but you don't know when it's going to end. And I think that's the part where we kind of get held up on, is not knowing where the end point is. I think when you're setting a goal, a lot of times you're setting a successful goal. A lot of times you can say, if I start here and I do this, and continuously do it, by this day I'll be able to get the things that I want. And when it comes to getting the things God has for you, that's not always the case. So you feel like you're stuck in this prison of just sitting and doing and never receiving the benefits of it. But again, like I said, sometimes when you're dealing with God, you have to realize that you're not stuck, but you're in a season of going through, because there is an end goal on the outside that you just have to wait and get to. Do you feel like the Lord is with you right now? I feel like the Lord is with me at all times. I feel like the Lord is with us right now as I'm making this video, as you're watching this video. I feel like the Lord is with us as we continue to read about Joseph. I feel like when you really dig deep and down, just take a breath, you'll feel God's presence over you. When you just look at plants, when you look at the things that are going on in the world, the things that are alive, look at the things that are alive in this world. Look at the sun, look at the plants, look at how the tree moves, look at the air we're breathing, just our ability to move and function. I think, look at life, and you'll see that God is with you everywhere, okay? Let's get into the verses for today. So the verses for today are Genesis 39, verse 20 through 23, and Colossians 3, 23 and 24. So, Genesis 39. So he took Joseph and threw him into prison where the king's prisoners were held, and there he remained. But the Lord was with Joseph in the prison and showed him the faithful love. And the Lord made Joseph a favorite with the prison warden. Before long, the warden put Joseph in charge of all the other prisoners and everything that happened in the prison. The warden had no more worries because Joseph took care of everything. The Lord was with him and caused everything he did to succeed. And then Colossians verse 23. Work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Remember that the Lord will give you an inheritance as your reward, and that the master you are serving is Christ. And that's kind of what I talked about making videos and making content. I've brought it up that if people don't watch, I want in my heart to know that I'm doing something for God. Maybe people won't watch, maybe people won't find out, but I know that, like I said, I'm doing something that is pleasing to God. I'm putting something out there that I believe is positive, that maybe someday somebody will find and say, you know, this world wasn't so bad. There were believers. There were people who pushed us to be our best selves. There were people who pushed us towards God, and I want to be one of them, because I feel like this media stuff will kind of live for a long time. So I'm going to make sure that I'm putting out the right things and put out stuff that is pleasing to God. So if people don't watch, God, I hope you enjoyed all these videos that I'm making, because I have, and I hope I'm honoring and pleasing you in everything that I do. And thank you for the way that you move in my life. Now we're going to get over to the group chat discussion. Again, if you guys want to join, there's a link below. Join the Bible app. Join the plan. It takes you straight to the plan. And I will see you tomorrow, day 7. Keep mastering. God bless. Thank you for joining me.